What's going on, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? JP here with another video. I'm going to start a segment here as to the first video being a very good success, giving you guys ideas and situations with Centurion. This time I have a bit of a surprise which already went ahead and proved itself in the Vegas Regionals, getting second place. I'm going to go ahead with this profile to show you guys what to do.
Time to duel!
So getting through the ordeal of playing this deck multiple times, I've seen the ins and outs of what it could do. Now there is opportunity and strengthening that can give this deck more potential if we just keep playing around with the challenges that is meeting in the meta. And I believe that these girls can definitely do it if they put their minds together. That's right, I have a profile, White Forest. Let's take a look. So to start with the monsters here, I definitely want to go ahead and grab. I'm starting with 3 health. The 3 health that is definitely the big picture of this situation because it is the ordeal to get the chain started. This is a 1-card combo that gets you into your level 6s very easily. So I want to go ahead and at least address that these girls are going to do some good if you have the right cards to use and utilize. So 3 health that is definitely necessary in this deck. Next we have 1 health that Azamina. Now, it's not a big Azamina engine. It's not even an Azamina engine. You just want it based on the material because not only does it get the ability to get something out of the extra deck, which is fusion and or synchro, this is a really good card. I'm not gonna lie, it's a level 2 that just gives you everything that you need. So I definitely want to go ahead and at least address this right out the gate. Next we have the 1 Stellar. Now, a lot of people are deciding to do 2 Stellar. I still think 1 is okay. Now, with the 2 Stellar, it's still necessary to at least be able to go ahead and get the extending part of this by sending a spell and trap to the graveyard in order to get this back from the graveyard. So it is a utility card that I would just want to go ahead and at least share. It's not good on normal summon, that's for sure. So if there's a way that you can special summon it, this is a perfect card to use. Next on our key is, of course, Dispel Vengeance. Dispel Vengeance is by far one of the great cards that you can destroy and interrupt on opponent's turn. So it gives you the half-life point situation, which is quite okay, but you do get a synchro tuner if you control yet another Diabell star or Diabell monster on the field. So this is a perfect card. I still like it. You banish a spell and a trap from the graveyard, and you can bring it back either from your hand or the graveyard. So it is a wonderful utility in this deck. Then we have, of course, the other big girl, Diabell's the White Witch. Now, she's really good as well because you get to be able to dump something to the graveyard that you're not going to be able to use right away, which will probably be Diabell's Vengeance if you already have the trap card. So, more or less, 9 times out of 10, remember what I said about 1-card starters, this deck just peels through as fast as possible to get to your combo plays when necessary. So the White Forest engine, this being this small, still works with the other deck. So it makes sense to keep it as small, but keep 1-card combos necessary. And then the last but not least in the White Forest, 1 Sylvie and 1 Rusia. 1 Sylvie and 1 Rusia seems to be standard. I mean, the Rusia kind of just gives you the +1, but you just want to be able to special summon it, which is the primary rule. The Sylvie being special summon or add to hand normal summon, kind of where you want to keep it. It is the 1-up, but it's still good 9 times out of 10. So I would prefer this. A lot of people run 2 Sylvie instead of the Rusia. We're going to try it with the Rusia. Definitely tell. Now, going back into the Elfnote situation, again, my favorite archetype with the girls, I just want to go ahead and show off 3 Lucina as normal, 3 Tinia as normal, 1 of the Fortuna, 2 Power Patron. Now, remember what I said about this deck. This deck's 1-card combo as well. The only reason why I say that is because there's a lot of speculation with different cards and combination that you can use, but you're able to stop your opponent in any way, shape, or form, as long as you know where to place your cards. The center main monster zone is definitely utilized, and it is necessary, especially when the combos meet. So if you're using it on your turn, you're just going to be able to get a bunch of Elfnotes out as fast as possible using the spell and trap card to continue. On your opponent's turn, you're just interrupting their plays which, like I said, the blue girl basically banish the card of hand. The red girl being able to return something on field to hand on level 6 or lower. And of course, Power Patron, allowing you to search for a Elfnote card. The Fortuna gives you the ability to return one spell and trap, but we're not there yet. There's not a spell or trap that we want to go ahead and return to our hand unless it's on your opponent's side that may cause a problem. Things like anti-spell fragrance, that is a problem. So you want to be able to return it to your opponent's hand, so that way you can be able to play your combos necessary. That's it for the monsters action. And of course, we go into detail. We have our hand traps, which, like I said, doesn't get any better than this. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Polaroid, and 2 Perilia. Now, using the Perilia again is necessary against magnets and also Vapor Soul Canine. So it's good to keep Perilia in the main deck because you never know what you're going to get. The Fool of Wasps against Drago Tail and Branded is definitely necessary. So, like I said, you're evening out your avenues here and being able to try to stop them as fast as possible. Ash Blossom, of course, is the main utility. A lot of people were talking about getting rid of Ash Blossom. I don't think so. It's been legal at 3 forever. I don't think they'll ever touch it. Next on our spell card, we've got our 2 Witch of the White Forest, I think. Because I think that's what it is in English. I have the Spanish version, but I think it's Witch of the White Forest. You only run 2 of these. Now you're able to search for a White Forest monster, add it to your hand. Whatever you have as a White Forest can be treated as a tuner, and at the same time you can't special anything out of the extra deck except Dark. So even if you got rid of this card, you're still locked in the light, but it's quite alright because you have other utilities to use, especially if you've already summoned Dark first. You don't have to worry about that because you'll be locked out for the rest of the turn, not when you use it. So it's good. I think just having this at 2 is definitely necessary, and it's also a good card to send to graveyard for something else, especially like if you're using Brucia or if you're using the Synchro Brucia to be able to send. So it's good. Next you have the 1 Tail to the White Forest. I don't see any more than 1. I mean, it is a good search, but you can only play 1 once per turn anyway. It is what it is. Just 1 of is fine. Gives you what you need, and you're able to throw it away to set, and then you activate it to get what you need. So it's perfect. And of course, the Queen returns any spell or trap back to your hand. You might want to get that back. So it doesn't matter if you run multiples of it. It's just good to keep your card count maybe low in the situation to run your 1 card combo situation perfect. Then you have the 1 Sevenfold Spoils of White Forest. Basically, it's search for the Elzat Asamina. So you get this one because the search is a simple spoils card if you use it for synchro, which is perfect because the same point is you can fusion summon from your hand or be able to special from your hand, especially if something is large, such as like your Diabells that you can't special right away. You can be able to just use this card to manifest the special summon. Not many people use it for that effect. But use it for the fusion summon, which I do, and I'll go over details in a minute based on why. Next you have the Diabell. Main spell card that searches any level 8 Diabell monster directly to your hand. And if you banish it from the graveyard, then all your Diabells are permanently 500. So that is good. I mean, it's currently on the field, so it doesn't matter if you were to go ahead and resummon a Diabell, it wouldn't get that power up, but whatever stays on the field will have that increase. Most of them are 25, so you just make them 3,000 meters. It's very hard to get over in this kind of situation. Now on the Elfnote side, we do 1 welcome home, 1 plea for help. Now, I've seen a lot of plays where plea for help was actually really good. The fact that your spells and traps can't be destroyed by card effects when you have a water in the middle main monster zone, excellent. Because a lot of people out here are running the double Cyclone, which is supposed to stop Radiant Typhoon, but also could damper you, especially in situations like this. Because you're not sending it for a monster effect, it just destroys it outright. So if you have the plea for help, it's like a Centurion blocker. So it's your Oxala, even though you're not running. So it's perfect. I think just the one of is necessary when you've already searched the welcome home and you're wanting to be able to play another spell. This is a perfect card. And next on our actions, we have Free Fallen of the Virtuous. I think this card is just excellent because you throw away an Ecclesia monster, you pop a card. Or if you have an Ecclesia in the graveyard, you can have a monster reborn. So there's nothing wrong with this card at all. It is a hard once per turn, but it's still perfect because you can search it with throwing away certain cards. So I think it's great. And of course, you still have your 3 Forbidden Crowns. I believe it's really substantial for this deck. Some people are using droplets. You can choose either or. It is not a problem in this situation to use either or. It is your preference. Now remember, with droplet, you have to get rid of spells and traps or monsters depending on what you want to create and cut in half. Crown is kind of one of those I stop you before you do anything. So it's a higher class Infirm and Solemn Judgment if you think about it, because you stop certain effects. You may not stop summons with this, but it helps you in any way, shape, or form. You can't target it, they can't tribute it, and you can lock somebody out from using material. So it's really good. I think it's great. If they fallen to Albaz or fallen to White, you have to make Crown to put it in, to stop it from being used as material. It's good, at least in my opinion. Or if they summon the one Yummy and they can't summon anything else, activate Crown and turn it off. They can't go into Snatching and do all that kind of stuff. So keep in mind that Crown may be underrated and is going down in price. So get them while you can, because it could be a good idea moving forward. Then we have the one Terraforming, of course, Search. Remember the Witch of the White Forest? So that's going to definitely get what you need in the aspect of Search, but you don't really need to use it. If you already got the field spell in hand and you drew into Terraforming, use it for the LZ combo. Remember, 1-card combos are necessary. It's just an extender to keep going. So it is what it is. Now, as for traps, what I've chosen in here, what the other person chosen, which is a very good idea. I'm going to show you right now. It's only 5 traps. 1 person to dive, 1 traps, 3 evenly. Now, the evenly is necessary because I want to say this. If you're tired of dice roll like me and you want to go first or second, this deck can go first or second. Now, if you have the evenly on your first turn, it's okay. You can send it to the graveyard if you don't need it, because you might have a board that they can't break. So keep in mind that it is a challenge to look into when utilizing this strategy, but it also could be a benefactor. The only reason I say that is because if you've already banished the spell and trap to use Diabolical Vengeance, you have a second chance. So it's using the evenly match and banishing yet another spell that you don't need to bring back the Diabolical Vengeance, maybe next turn. It's really good. Like I said, you want to be able to keep in mind that your deck is 1-card combo situation, and it is necessary to keep things moving forward as the deck proceeds. So that's it for the main board in this deck. Like I said, the White Forest engine is very fun. I enjoy it because I love Synchro. I'm a big 5D fan, as you can tell back here. But at the same point, I just enjoy synchros. Like synchros of what really got me into Yu-Gi-Oh! More than the GX era. So, as the aspect, as we go along in our synchro, we'll go ahead and show you 2 Seraphim. 2 Seraphim is necessary. Like I said, it's level 7. It keeps getting you your Elfnotes back out of the graveyard. It's like Regina in half. So, it's excellent because it works on either turn. So it's perfect to set up different strategies and board to where you can go ahead and keep your opponent guessing. And remember, like I said, when you switch from the main monster zone to the monster, it just keeps the music going, just based on placement. Perfect. And of course, the one Crystal Wing, one Snake Eyes, Engine Dragon, and 3 girls that we normally would play White Forest, which is the so we have the Lucia, Bad Bell Queen, of course the Silvera. Silvera is basically the broken one because it puts your opponent on ice. If they can't negate it, they're going to be book-a-mooning all of their monsters, especially in specific schematics. So if they have, as an example, like Fatal Soul K9, that is a deck that's going to be already a threat. It's still a threat even now. You book a moon most of the board, they're going to try to negate. And if you have something to combo and chain to the negate, then you have a way to book a moon them, and they've wasted one negate. So this is Silvera is just one of those cards that's just like at the top of the food chain before the other two. Rusia definitely lets you search a spellcaster or a Diabell, which in case if you're wanting to know, Fortuna is a spellcaster that you can search because it's a one life spellcaster. So if you do need an Elfnote to at least start somewhat of a board, at least you'll get that and the trap card. The trap card is your walking imperm if you have an Elfnote monster on, or Elfnote synchro. Excuse me, any synchro, not just Elfnote, just any synchro on board if you use an Elfnote. So it's perfect. One Omega. Omega's like your Tinia. You just handle them. If you do it correctly, you can just wipe 2 to 3 cards from your opponent, and they have to wait till next turn to use them, especially if they're in a need to use those cards. Or Ecclesia, because Ecclesia is just broken. You throw it away. You do specific things, and even if you have it on board or not, it's just worth it in the graveyard because you just use the other 2 virtuous as Monster Reborn. Of course, the J-Yang, England, and Poplar. So again, synchros are necessary in this situation when you look at it because you have your staples. Your J-Yang is banish. You do banish a lot, and you're going to be able to get the effect off multiple times. The Salient is a chain blocker. Basically, if your opponent were to Ash, you do something else, and you chain Salient, you stop the Ash Blossom, then your effects will go through. So it's perfect. I like the Salient. I see this as the rising star moving forward because a lot of people love level 7, and it is the strongest level 7 that I've seen thus far that can hold its own at 28. At the same point, or case in point, it can be treated as a non-tuner. So keep that in mind also. If you want something to use like level 11, you can take Poplar out and maybe put in a level 11 like Jirshin or even Psychic Yin Punisher. It's an idea for you players out there. Sorry about the blur on the Ghost Crystal Wing. It's just what it is. I wanted to tell you. Of course, the fusions that you would normally need to use for the Guardian of Era, Galbion, the Branded Dragon, and the Saint Azamina. Now, let me explain the Saint Azamina to you in real quick detail. Branded players will kick my butt if they summon their Saint Azamina. So if they have it out there on the board and I use the ability to get my Saint Azamina out, then this is necessary. If I get mine out first, then they can't target anything on the field on their side or the graveyards. So it's perfect. So just think about it for a sec. You do have monsters that you can be able to play Saint Azamina for free, and you're able to continue to wreck board and face. So that's where the Sinful Spoils, the White Forest, will come into play if you need to fusion summon real quick. Also, Elza Azamina will let you fusion summon right away using the materials on the field or in your hand. So it's still necessary to even think about when wanting to run those. And I think it's a necessary feature. Of course, Guardian Chimera is also a second guess because you can take 2 off the field, 1 in your hand, or 2 in your hand, 1 on the field. Either way, you're doing something against your opponent to maybe interrupt in those angles. So a lot of deck testing, a lot of theorizing and dealing with that, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do. Now, like I said, this deck is kind of also shadowed to the second place player, but there's certain cards that I run differently than he does, maybe to get through in the match. For the sideboard, this is kind of a quick one. Let me get that out here real quick. We got 2 draw Lockbird, just for simple lockdown. That's all we want. We have 2 Illusion Gate. We want to see it, so at least with Illusion Gate in here, it is a good tech to wipe your opponent's board and Monster Reborn at the same time. So it is necessary. If they Ghost Bell you, then that card's kind of okay on the half aspect, but at least you destroy the board. 3 Prohibition, you just want to call out something that your opponent has in their hand, especially going second. And it could benefit you or it could hurt you. Now, the full loss and stuff like that is during the draw phase. A lot of people are just doing it during the draw phase. It's fine. Prohibition could also be used for mistaken arrest. So if they go full loss, you've mistaken arrest. Now they can't do anything. Well, except by drawing, of course. So having that in action is perfectly fine. I think Prohibition's better. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. I think Prohibition is just a little bit better in stopping your opponent from certain cards being played. Of course, we also played Double Cyclone. I'm sick and tired of Radiant Typhoon. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of Radiant Typhoon. Those who play Radiant Typhoon know, no shade to any of you. I'm just tired of the trap card. That's basically plain and simple. That trap card is a problem. Called by the Grave, of course. Feather Duster. Scourge of the White Forest. Scourge is really good, especially if you need to stop your opponent from doing certain things, negating them, and getting a Monster Reborn back. So you get an illusion, you bring another one out while negating. It's really good. And of course, 2 Black Goat Laughs. Now, this is kind of like the. Oh, wow. I'm way out of frame. So there you go. Black Goat Laughs. Get 2 of them. Now, with the Black Goat Laughs, this is kind of one of those trap cards that's new to me. I'm still going to be able to try to use it to stop my opponent from certain things. They can't use it for the rest of the turn. I'm learning. I'm learning it. So it also has a graveyard effect, which is really good. So just keep that in mind that this is kind of just a sideboard that I'm playing around with. It is not in stone. But thanks again for watching, you guys. I want you to enjoy the profile. If you do like what you see, remember to hit those thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends and family. I will be doing a part 3 on this deck as well, because I've seen some different strategies that this could probably use. A lot of people are using Elfnote Fiendsmith, which I do have all the cards for. I may not just show like the deck in general. I might have to put it online. But there are other ways that you can run Elfnote to get through certain scenarios in the format. But again, thanks for watching. I will shoot out a part 3 as fast as possible for you guys. You take care. Be safe.